Speak and destroy.
Speak and destroy.
I'm your host, Andrew Gaventa. With me as always,
Stephen Reed.
He's got the sniffles.
Oh, God. I don't know what is it. I think as soon as I came into your house, I started sneezing.
Yeah.
Allergic to your bullshit.
Oh, shit. You were allergic to dog dander?
Oh, no.
No, that's right. You own a dog.
I'm not allergic to anything.
You must be.
Except for injustice. Oh, God. Oh, God. This must be how Gigolo feels when he's like on the precipice, just ready to burst.
You got to hold it back for the sake of the job.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, I'm suppressing it.
Okay. What are we talking about, Steve?
Whew. Never have I done an episode where I felt like we're walking into a minefield. We're about to talk
Any
about
minute now, there's just going to be like, what?
I feel like any opinion we give on this movie will be
Oh,
incorrect.
I was talking about the sneeze.
Oh, the sneeze you're talking about.
I thought that in any minute you meant that you were going to sneeze. No, yeah, we're talking about Ghostbusters, and man, people are opinionated about
I ain't
this
afraid of
movie.
no ghosts, but I am afraid of mean people saying mean things to me.
Yeah. All right. So I don't think there's ever been a more divisive movie that I can think of. You know, like
Nope.
you got the Batman versus Superman DC thing going on, and there's people who love it, there's people who hate it. But man, this thing, it's like a bloodbath with people online.
Yeah, it is a war. It is.
Yeah. Like right now, certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's sitting at about 75% last time I checked.
Not bad.
Yeah, pretty good. A lot less than the previous Paul Feig movie, which was Spy, which had like a 92 or 93, which I think is way too high for that movie.
It was not a bad movie. I saw
No,
it
no,
on
it
the
was a
flight to the
very
LA,
good
but
movie.
it wasn't a 92.
It was a very good movie, but it had serious pacing problems and some serious characterization problems that I think it would have been more.
I'm
like
worried that
80.
Paul Feig?
Paul Feig,
Paul F.
Feig,
Feig Faux
I think it's
Fum.
Feig. Yeah.
I'll make a movie not starring anyone, just Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
I feel like he's turning into Tim Burton.
Oh, where he
And
only has like the one
Melissa
person.
McCarthy is slowly being turned into Johnny Depp. I keep picturing that scene
Maybe,
in
yeah.
Aladdin where Jafar's looking at the lamp or the crystal ball and it's just Aladdin climbing. He's like, my diamond in the rough.
Yeah. My thing about Paul Feig is I've said this before. I think he's turning into Judd Apatow in the sense that like these two really good comedy directors who get their hands into like a really talented young performer, or like not young necessarily, but just in the sense that like a previously like not well known. Like Melissa McCarthy was pretty much unknown before Bridesmaids. And that blew her up.
Which I would say is the movie he's most well known for.
Yeah, which is a great movie.
Because
Because
he's like done like odd episodes of like The Office and like
Yeah.
I think even Arrested Development or
But that's the
something.
movie that blew him up and blew her up.
Yep.
And now he has like a group of regulars he goes to, usually led by her, as you said. Kristen Wiig, Bridesmaids, and Ghostbusters now. All four of his big recent movies have Melissa McCarthy in them, though.
Would
And
you have liked the movie more if he got more of the people he works with? And in particular, I'm talking about Rose.
Rose Byrne?
Yeah. You love her.
I do love Rose Byrne. I don't know who she would have played in this,
She
though.
could play one of the ghosts.
That would have felt forced. I would have been excited to see her. I'd be like, hey, there's Rose Byrne, but I don't know that
I
she
can already.
would-
All right, let's step back. I can already see it in your face. You are concerned about reviewing this. You look nervous and sweaty, like you've had hot soup.
Oh, it's just a hot day.
It hasn't been hot today.
It's been fair. You know what it is? It's because I got like 6 pounds of hair on the top of my head. I need to get a haircut.
Yeah, it is just a curly
I
meadow.
hate it. It's awful. It's like I have a whole cat on top of my head at the moment.
What have we been? Oh wait, I want to plug. This weekend I ordained a wedding.
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm an ordained minister because one day I was online watching some show online, and there was an ad that said "Get ordained today," and I clicked on it, and I did it. Now I can do weddings, and I did our good friend Alex's brother's wedding.
Yep.
Congrats, Daniel, and now Jessica DeSalt
Yeah, congrats.
on
guys.
your wedding.
Yeah,
Technically my wedding.
Alex has been on the show before, so his brother got married this past weekend.
I
Pretty
just
exciting.
feel more powerful.
You should. You have
I'm the
law.
most powerful person in this room right now. Can you legally bind people?
No,
You can physically bind them, but not legally.
no, I'm not good at tying knots. So
I'm not good at tying knots either now I think about it. But so if anyone wants their weddings done, I will do them at a reasonable rate. And Andrew will get ordained too. and we'll do kind of like a good minister, bad minister thing.
Oh,
like I'll
okay.
be like, love is patient, love is kind, and you'll be like, divorce is not patient and it's unkind.
Like, I'm the one who's seen some shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm just randomly drinking in the background. I'm like, Melissa! Ah!
I'm like fresh and like doe-eyed. I'm the rookie who hasn't been to
But
war.
I've been in it
and
too long.
you've been just in the shit.
Yeah, I've seen the dark side.
So if anyone wants to do that, hit me up. Hit up the Speak and Destroy.
Yeah, send us an email.
Speak and Destroy. What is it?
Speak
and
and
I hate describing that. I hate that you did that.
I do too.
It's missing a D, so it's Speak and
Destroy
Show
at gmail.com.
at gmail.com.
Yes, it is annoying. But yeah, so let's dive in the movie.
I'm scared.
I know, but we got to dive through first. It, like I was saying, it's got like a 75% on. Oh, that's why I got sidetracked there. You threw me off. My fear about Paul Feig right now is that he's becoming Judd Apatow in the sense that he's got his regulars, he's had some hits, and he is now really full of himself. Because this movie, especially Spy, even Bridesmaids, as much as I like it, really could have been all cut down a lot. And that's how I felt about every Judd Apatow movie for a while now.
Every
It's
Judd
like,
Apatow movie, there's always a part in a Judd Apatow movie where you're like, oh, it's not over.
yeah, absolutely.
There's always this like, it looks like it's going to end
And then it keeps going for another act.
another like 20 minutes,
Yeah.
25 minutes.
And it's like I feel like both of them are just like so high on their skills.
Do you feel like
and their
Ghostbusters
hits.
had that little segment in it?
Ghostbusters? There's parts I think they could have cut down, but actually not as much as Spy. Spy, I felt they could have cut like a whole half hour from that movie, and it would have been streamlined and perfect. I feel like both of them just like they put the camera on. They're like, this is so fucking good. Don't cut any of it. It's all perfect. And it's just like, it doesn't need to be that. I feel like they need to tone it down a little bit. I feel like Paul Feig did a little bit with this in the sense that I don't feel like he just turned the cameras on them as much and was like, just go, just do your stuff. Improv.
This is the first movie in a long time that I've watched and then like saw like comments and stuff that really made me think in my head, like, remember when people used to just watch movies? And it like wasn't this like Hunger Games choose a faction bullshit.
Yeah. Because I will say this, the people who would give this movie like a 90 or above, the people who think it's like perfect, definitely disagree. Movie had some big problems. Some big flaws.
What, you say you disagree?
I would disagree with the people.
Yes.
I would
also
disagree of like giving this movie, if you called this movie great or classic, I would disagree.
I would call
say it's very, very good.
I would call it good.
I would call it very good. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would.
Me too.
I would almost say I loved it, but there are a few things that hold me back from saying that. But it's pretty close. The people who are saying this movie is garbage, I don't even know what they're talking about.
The thing is, though, those are people that can't. You have to be able to. And I've never had a problem with this. There's the Ghostbusters, the original Bill Murray and crew.
Amazing, classic,
amazing. You have to be able to be like, this is my movie. Just have them exist in separate worlds. Like, you're comparing them when they don't need to be compared.
Yeah. It does do a bit of the Force Awakens thing where it kind of draws on that.
It is pretty much the first Ghostbusters.
Yeah, in certain respects, it absolutely
But
is.
I don't remember Star Trek in this hate. When they did the first Star Trek and they're rebooting it. I don't remember people freaking out.
If they did, I can't really remember. I think people were more concerned that they're going to fuck up the timeline, and then they did the whole thing of like, oh, it's a whole new timeline.
Yeah.
But I don't know if people would react to it. If they had set this movie in the same universe as the originals, I don't know how people would have reacted.
I think it would have been much worse.
Yeah, I think people would have been even more like, oh.
Even I would have to agree. Like, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that either. I like that it's its own thing. So yeah, this new one. All right, let's dive into it. Gun to your head. Let's do our gun to the head. How would Steven
rate it, or what's the summary of
the summary of this movie?
The summary of the movie is two girls were friends once, believed in ghosts, became not friends because one wanted to get a real job.
One of them grew the fuck up.
One of them grew the fuck up. But they reconnect, find a real ghost very quickly.
Yeah.
And team up with another lady who knows the streets, and together they find some ghosts and stop the mayor from Jaws from ruining the town.
Also, there's a fourth person in there.
Who's right, yeah, Kate McKinnon. That's Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, you forgot.
Because she kind of just lumped in there. She's just like part of them.
Yeah, she's just kind of in the background. Like,
She's just kind of in the background. Which I would say it's weird because she's like my favorite character, but least favorite character.
Interesting.
Is that like there's aspects of her through the most part that I like and make her my favorite, but there's a little bit that they did too much with her.
Yeah.
And it irked me.
I would say that the biggest disagreement I had with a lot of the positive reviews I read was people were like, she steals the show, Kate McKinnon. I didn't really think so. I thought that she was a bit too much. Like, she was constantly cranked up to 11.
Exactly.
And our friend Mike the intern actually put this pretty well. He was saying that his big problem was he didn't feel like the other three characters had personalities that were defined well enough. Whereas she clearly had a very defined personality, so that's why he liked her more, because even though she was cranked up, she was never not that character.
Yeah.
Whereas, like,
to me, it felt like
the other characters
almost
kinda,
they
like,
realized
waffled.
in the middle of writing it, like everyone's gonna love this character.
Yeah.
So no matter what, she has to be because she's almost in every scene.
Big.
Yeah, she's almost in every scene somewhere.
Yeah.
Doing
She
something.
gets the big action moment.
Yeah, doing something like crazy. Whether it's even when she's not speaking, it's like a facial expression.
Yeah, she's doing wacky ass shit in the background. And like some of that stuff I could have done without. If they tone her down to even from an 11 down to a 10, it would have been fine for me, but she's just a bit too much. I will say she had some great moments. I love her speech at the end where she kind of does finally break that character and have a real moment. But
but
yeah, a lot of times she's in the background just doing wacky ass shit, and you're like, all right, this isn't a Saturday Night Live character. You do actually need to translate this person on screen as a full-fledged character without just being in the background going like, oh.
yeah. Sometimes it felt like the bits of like the comedic aspect of the movie were like drawn out too much. Like there are some scenes that are too. It almost felt like a long SNL skit.
Yeah.
But the SNL skit isn't funny.
Well, to me, that's that Paul Feig like not knowing when to go back and edit his movies right. And
sometimes it felt like
Apatow.
I felt like I was watching like when I used to a long time ago watch Family Guy. I'm like, wow, they're just doing this joke to fill time.
Yeah, it's like the Conway Twitty joke that you're just like, wow, we're still doing this. There was a couple here and there. I would say the big one is that I've heard people talk about. So Melissa McCarthy has a visual gag where she first tries to use the proton pack and kind of gets blasted around like it's a fire hose. And it's kind of funny for a minute, but it really does just keep going. And it gets
that part I didn't like because I was just let go of the button. They just explained how it works. You have to hold the button. Just let go of it.
It was just very forced. If it had been like a quick cut. Remember in the first Iron Man when he's learning how to use the suit and he has those moments where he kind of keeps crashing?
Yeah.
They're quick cuts.
They're quick, but she's just like holding on, then they're making jokes like, doesn't she look like a balloon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just drags and you're just like, all right, if that had been a quick cut, would have been perfect.
Also, it bothered me. This is something I've thought about since the first Ghostbusters. If they had that technology and they knew about it, like the proton packs, the government would be all over that shit.
Yeah, I know. But
they want it. But that's another thing that bothered me. I was like, proton packs, they're just supposed to like ensnare them. These are like straight up fucking eviscerating them.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that later. But some of the late model ones that they kind of start using in the big climax, they are just straight weapons, not just like ensnaring.
Yeah, because some of the things I saw them like complaining about, like the reviewers and stuff, and just fans in general, like, oh, this movie resorts to like cheap jokes and shit, and like they reference how in the movie when they're having what's her face, Kristen Wiig's character listen to the electronic voice or whatever, what's it called, the not EMP, whatever, the ghost voice that they recorded, but they tricked her it was a fart
noise. Yeah,
and then she's like, that was gross, and she would be like, would it be more gross if it was from the front? Queef joke, right? Queef joke. And people are complaining about that, and I'm like, well, in the first Ghostbusters, a ghost sucked a man's dick.
Yeah, he did. Never forget. # never forget.
And that movie only got a PG rating.
Yeah.
And it has peen sucking implied. Yeah.
Implied blowjob. You get to see Dan Aykroyd's O-face in that movie.
I'm just like, there's just some people that are so blinded.
I think there's such a big cluster of people out there who just went in wanting to hate this movie. Again, you can argue that that's part of like the misogyny that went on, that people like from the get-go hated the idea.
Yeah, I will say, and you probably agree, like the film's flaws aren't from like women Ghostbusters.
No, it's not.
It's not
The
that
cast
at
is
all.
great, I think. I would say, again, for me, the problem, I think, is the direction. I think Paul Feig is just too high on himself. And I think there is a level of there's that and his inability to, like, make the cuts he needs to make and the edits he needs to make to kind of round it down and not let some of the jokes linger. And then I also feel like there's probably some studio interference to give us like the big climactic action. Like the ending of this movie felt more like from a Marvel movie than it did like a
Yeah, it kind of
Ghostbusters.
came out of nowhere.
It went.
It almost
big
felt
at the
like
end.
I think you had mentioned this on the ride home from the movies, is that they were done with the movie, like, oh, we need to throw something in here. Like this isn't like someone higher up was like, no, it needs more. It needs an action scene.
Yeah, it needs more. It needs more. And so they go big at the end, and that's where you kind of lose a certain level of what we were just mentioning. You know, the proton packs throughout most of the movie act like the original proton packs, where they just catch a ghost and then they pull them into the trap.
But they're making like different. They made like grenades out of them and fucking boxing gloves or whatever.
Yeah, like a
and
ghost,
like little other pistols,
like a ghost, like a chewer upper type thing.
Even though like a wood chipper.
Yeah,
and
it's like a ghost.
And then
wood
the
chipper.
secret weapon, those two pistols she had. But I was like, that's the same thing as the proton pack. They're just smaller.
Yeah, they're just small pistols. But yeah,
it did look cool.
Oh yeah, visually it was fun.
I still don't like. I still think the ghosts in the original Ghostbusters look better.
Yeah, I would agree.
They're all CGI and like colorful. It looks like they're made of cotton candy.
A little bit, yeah. I didn't think they looked as bad as they looked in the trailer.
I want to lick them.
I thought they looked a lot better than they looked in the trailer, but yeah, it's like they're at the end they're fighting a whole horde of ghosts, and so like there's not enough time to set up individual traps and so they're just blasting them and destroying them really. And within the logic of the movie, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but you just know that there was somebody who's just like, we gotta go big.
Although, you know what I did like in this one? I was expecting this because Paul Feig, Melissa McCarthy partnership. They didn't do the cringy stuff that I hate where he seems to write like, isn't Melissa McCarthy a big girl? Isn't she a big girl? There's always like that kind of comedic element that he tries to, but it wasn't in this movie.
What about like a fat joke?
Yeah, like there's like stuff in Bridesmaid where she can't move right or something like that. Like, it's always just like, isn't she a bigger girl?
Yeah, she's actually pretty toned down, all things considered.
Yeah, and I did like that because I was waiting for that cringe.
She only had a few physical gags, I thought.
Yeah, really like the testing the proton pack for the first time.
More so, I would say it was Kate McKinnon who got a lot of the overtop stuff. Kristen Wiig gets some here and there where like, and this was Mike's, or we talked to Mike.
I kind of agree with Mike's point here.
Yeah, Mike's point was that Kristen Wiig's character is trying to be professional and stuff, but there are times when she just breaks and does really weird shit. So I can see why that's a bit jarring. I didn't mind it as much because I got the feeling that her character was supposed to be that weirdo.
And they kind of give you, I kind of forget because they kind of give you reasons as to why.
Yeah.
With her backstory, which I thought that segment they did with her little backstory, why she believes in ghosts was good. And it kind of made me feel like, okay, so she's always been like this. She's just trying to run away from her past.
She is kind of like the weirdo who's trying to hide that. But again, it does come out in weird ways where it's, you know, she's supposed to be the professional.
And it mostly came out with Chris Hemsworth's character.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mind that.
I actually enjoyed, like, there were some parts where I was just like, he can't be that stupid. But, like, other than that, I enjoyed him. He was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Chris Hemsworth was hysterical, I thought.
He played the secretary or the assistant,
the receptionist, Kevin.
Yeah, receptionist.
Who is dumb as all fucking hell. There were times, where he was, like, unbelievably dumb. But it never like became a problem for me. I would guess.
But like there are a lot of jokes that stick.
Oh yeah, I would say overall, I was laughing throughout.
And that's dangerous because when me and Andrew went to see this movie, there was a lady with the most interesting laugh, and like I said, she sounded like if a balloon animal could scream if it had been murdered. It was like
just constant.
I think whoever she was with. I think she was with like a boyfriend or something because I saw him at one point like turn around and go like this. I think he was like, "Shut the fuck up, bitch! Don't embarrass me!
Stop embarrassing me at Ghostbusters!
Stop embarrassing me!"
We got to point out we went to see this with our buddy Jim and our friend Alex, and we went It was a midday weekend showing, and it was actually surprisingly packed.
That was the most packed I've seen for a movie that I've been to lately.
Yeah, it was very packed. So I mean, people are going out to see it, And I gotta say, the theater was dying throughout. However, not to reflect poorly on the movie, but this was like the biggest theater of simpletons I think I've seen since Pixels.
Yeah, they're laughing at some dumb shit. Okay, I don't trust this crowd before. I'm about to get in a rant. One of the previews, there should be no fighting in the world, all right? There should be no racism or anything because there's a common enemy that we should be banding together to stop. An evil that we don't look at, and that name is Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry, Medea's Halloween.
There is a preview for a Medea's Halloween movie, and it is the dumbest shit I have ever seen in my life.
It honestly, our friend Jim, I think, was the one who said it looks like the fake trailer you would see in another movie.
Yes.
To point, like in, I think his example was Tropic Thunder when they had the fake trailers to be like, look at these ridiculous Hollywood movies, but it's real and it's a thing that's happening.
I hate lazy comedy, and nothing's lazier than just like, aren't white people different from black people and other races? White people eat their food like yum 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 yum, and black people eat their food like damn. I hate that shit with a passion, and that's all he does, and that's what he hides behind. And they were laughing so hard at this movie.
The theater was cracking up at that preview, and we were all looking around in disbelief, like, "Wow, really?"
If that movie does well, we failed.
Yeah. But it was not only that, it was like there's the trailer. This movie like had a lead in of some terrible trailers, like the Madea Halloween, the Troll movie, which I was just confused about. I didn't know the Trolls were coming back, but I guess they really are scraping the bottom of the barrel for properties in the 80s. So
yeah, they're gonna make a Jax movie and a Stickball.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be all. What about Skip It? You want to do a Skip It movie?
Pogs, the movie.
Oh, a kid's strapped to a Skip It and there's a bomb in it.
It's Speed, but just with Skip It.
Oh my god,
that's a brilliant movie, actually. Fuck.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. Kid dies at the end. Spoilers.
Yeah, and the kid's played by I don't know who's the kid actor.
He's played Benicio del Toro, but playing a kid.
He's played by both kids from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
What was the other? There was another one that really drove us up a wall too. I can't remember now, but yeah, this crowd was laughing at the movie, but they were always laughing at the worst jokes.
And that's another thing. Like there is a sense of comedy where you don't have to rely on dialogue or like slapstick, and that seems like they're just stuffing. Like they would just say stuff for just random reasons. Mm-hmm. Like even in the first Ghostbusters, some of the comedy was just them reacting to each other.
Yeah.
Like they're expressing stuff. It wasn't just filled. They weren't just saying stuff for the sake of just like hearing their voice.
Yeah. It's at times here there's like a feeling that like anytime there was like an empty pause.
Like gotta fill it. Or have Kate McKinnon do something in the background.
Yeah. Or Kate McKinnon do something weird. Chris Hemsworth do something weird. Just do that. There were times when I feel like there were a couple more subtle jokes which I appreciate, but there was times like when they're first talking to Kevin. He's wearing glasses throughout the movie, but he kind of goes to scratches his face, and he like scratches under his eye, like through the lens of the glasses, and then you realize there are no glasses in the glasses. He is just wearing a frame with no glasses. And I was gonna love that joke if they had left it like as a subtle visual cue, and if you caught it, you caught it, and if you didn't, you didn't.
But no, they bring it. It almost sometimes they think we're dumb.
Yeah. It's like Melissa McCarthy immediately stops what they're doing to be like, why are you not wearing glasses? And then like he keeps going with the joke about like the ridiculous reason he would have for not actually having the glasses in his glasses.
You know which joke I did that they kind of did that with when he said, "Oh, that's loud," but he covers his eyes.
Yeah.
They had referenced that before and they didn't really bring it up, but then he does it again when he rings the gong.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they could have done something like that.
Yeah.
Like, but they just like. You're right. They bring up each joke.
Yeah, it's like they really have to dissect some of the jokes. And I feel like he's done that in some of his other movies again. Again, it's that like level of can't leave it alone, can't make it just a quick, like miss it. Like either you catch it or you don't type moment. And it's like, yeah, some people, but you know what? Like I like that type of humor sometimes because it's like it gives you more of a reason to go back and see it again.
Yeah.
Whereas like if the movie is breaking down every one of its jokes for you, it can get too much, but I mean, part
of me, like, I know for a fact I enjoyed the movie, but part of me thinks maybe I'm like have blinders on to some of it because like I want to defend it because I hate all the bullshit reasons that people are hating it.
I can see that, but I don't think it's that. I know there are people out there who, if they see anybody give this movie a passing grade or any type of praise, they're just like jumping on like the weird white knight SJW defense. It's like your opinion is different than mine, so you just must be defending.
Don't get us wrong. This movie deserves like any other movie to be judged.
Yeah. But I would say overall, it's a very good time, and I really walked away from it being like, yeah, that was great. And probably, if anything, I would say I walked away from it thinking it was so good because after hearing all the shit, like, I went in not expecting much. You know?
Even Alex, like, before it started, like, right when the credits was like, all right, let's get this pile over with.
Yeah.
Even he was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, he went in thinking it was going to be terrible. But then you see like some reviewers, like Angry Joe, gave this like a 2 out of 10, and I don't see how it could get that low. But hearing those types of feedback, that type of feedback, like I didn't watch most of his review, but I did see what his score was. Actually, I don't know if it was him or one of the other guys in the.
Plain and simple, like if your only complaint is like this isn't the original Ghostbusters, no shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have to form why you don't like it. You can't just say this isn't Ghostbusters.
I appreciate the defense of please Hollywood stop remaking movies and please stop remaking movies like cheaply and lazily. That's completely valid, but that's also undercutting the movie just for the sake of taking a stand against a general feeling. You know, like this isn't the RoboCop reboot. You know, it's not that. It's not that shitty, that bad. This movie actually has a lot of its own merits.
But they're just like even that scene in the beginning where Zach Wood's character, who I guess he's like the tour of like that haunted mansion where they first see that first ghost, and they're doing that joke like, haha, you pooped your pants. Even it just went on too long. It's like, you pooped your pants. It's like, no, I didn't poop my pants. Like, you did poop your pants. You told me you pooped your pants.
Pooped your pants.
I'm just like, all right, okay.
You
get it. He shit.
Pooped.
He pooped.
Yep. There's definitely times. So again, for me, the problem was the direction and specifically the editing and the fact that for me, there is one big thing that should have been added to the movie that I wanted more of, that I didn't get enough of, whereas there are like small moments like that should have been trimmed down a little bit. You know, it's that kill your darlings approach to writing where sometimes you can think that like, wow, this is gold.
Yeah.
But then you really have to have the critical editorial eye to be like, I like it, but maybe if I do a little bit of trimming here, it'll be even better. I think that Paul Feig and Judd Apatow are on the same boat right now where they're just not doing that enough. I feel like the cuts of their movies must both be like fucking 5 hours long, and they're sitting there like cutting it down to like these 2.5, 3 hour long comedies.
It's kind of like when a writer, even like for the sake of like writing a book, it like knows they have to kill off a character but can't do it. Like it will help the plot and like make it enrich it, but they can't do it. Like I love everything I've done. Yeah, I can't get rid of anything. I can't change anything.
Yeah, you gotta have that editorial eye. That's part of it, and to me, that's what. All right, so let's get into the spoilery stuff.
There are ghosts.
Final recommendation before we do?
I would just see it. Yeah. See it. You always have the other Ghostbusters to go to. And guess what? The second one sucked.
Yeah. The second one was just the first one again.
The second one sucked because the main villain was pretty much ooze that if you said mean things to it would get agitated. In a painting. A man in a painting.
He was a ugly man in a painting.
The second one's not good. So why do you care?
Yeah, exactly. So I would definitely say give it a shot. Go in with the low expectations. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised if you actually go in with an open mind. You know, just don't go in hating it already. And especially the big thing I think we need to point out is do not go in expecting the movie from the trailers, because the trailers are shit. We can definitely say the trailers for this movie were terrible.
Oh, god awful.
They really did make this thing look like it was going to be a goddamn.
Because I'll even say when we were at
fire.
When we were at the movie theaters going to get our seats, and people were already sitting down, there were some people that had the expression like, "Why am I even here? This is going to suck." But by the end of the movie, like I saw some of the people, they were laughing and they were like,
there wasn't anybody that I saw who like stormed out or like was like audibly like going, "Ugh," like groaning.
Because like when we first got there, they had expressions of like a dad who is dragged to his child's play,
yeah,
and he
exactly.
knows his child sucks.
Yeah, but again, like the trailers, whoever did the trailers for this honestly needs to be fired. But you know what? I'll actually give them credit on a certain level because it's one of the few comedies in recent years that I can think of where the best parts were not in the trailer.
True.
Because this one, it was the worst parts were in the
Yeah,
trailer.
because some of them I was like, oh, this joke.
hmm Honestly, I think the big failure, joke wise, in the movie was the Melissa McCarthy, the sequence where she gets possessed by the villain.
You think that was the worst?
I think that was, for me, that was like the lamest joke sequence. And then the whole, that was the sequence from the trailer where the character Patty is smacking the shit out of Melissa McCarthy. The power of Patty compels you. And that's really, I think, where people got the fear that Leslie Jones's character was just going to be the screaming black woman caricature that she didn't really turn out to be. I thought she actually did a much better job.
She did.
I thought she did a solid job. The amount of racist shit she got on Twitter
is
completely just
unfair, unjustified.
But you know what? Fucking Dan Aykroyd came out in her defense, and he was pretty brutal when he did.
Yeah. Good on you, Dan.
You're kind of insane now, but
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't want to meet you ever, especially in the dark.
But hey, thank you for sticking up for Leslie.
But I don't know if
fashion.
maybe your memory's better of the first Ghostbusters than mine.
Mm-hmm.
One of the parts that bothered me, and I'm not going to claim to know. I don't know any of the scientific jargon that they're saying had truth to it or not. It sounded fake to me. But, like, I don't remember the Ghostbusters, the original one, explaining so much of it.
That was really just Egon. Like, Egon...
But I feel like they went too far sometimes in, like, saying what they were doing and how it worked.
A little bit.
It kind of took me out of it, because like, when I hear, like, whether... I don't know if it's fake or not, but, like...
A lot of it's drawing on, like, actual, like, paranormal ideas and theories.
Yeah, I just didn't know how much of the jargon they were saying, their terminology was, like... just made up or something.
I don't know a whole lot about it myself.
Because when stuff's over explained like that to me, I think about it, and then it kind of takes me out of it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, the ion diffuser gauntlet runs a coolant system through the pack here.
There was a bit too much. It kind of felt like they were overcompensating for the sake that, like...
They're like, see, they are smart.
Yeah.
Even though they're women.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that. There's the unfortunate prejudice in modern America that women don't hold as many math or science jobs, and there's like this stupid stereotype.
It's just stupid to me that this movie is causing such like deep conversations.
Yeah, I know.
when the script was written to have ghosts in it that throw up on people.
Yeah, a lot. But I say let's dive into the spoilery stuff. All right, so for me, the big thing that the movie fails on completely is the villain. Rowan is a non-character.
That guy is so typecast.
Yeah, the only
He's
other thing,
always the weird dude.
Only other thing I can think of that actor being in was I'm pretty sure it was like a college humor sketch about Tetris.
I believe he was also a mental patient in like one of the League episodes.
That would make sense. Yeah, he is a non-character who it seems like what they did with him was they wrote Kristen Wiig's character first, Erin Gilbert being this girl who was bullied as a child because of her belief in ghosts. The only friend she had was Melissa McCarthy's character when they were kids, and she's the only one who believes her, and that helps her through it. This guy is clearly supposed to be the foil of he's bullied, he believes in ghosts, and everybody
he's kind of,
like
I guess he was like, what I kind of thought is he's like made to show you like the alternate path she could have taken.
Yeah, exactly. That's 100% what she was, but it never paid off in any sense of her being like recognizing that.
He also never felt sympathetic towards him.
Yeah, he's just crazy for the sake of being crazy, and there's no backstory. We have no idea how he came into contact with ghosts.
Yeah, exactly. And
I don't need to feel sympathy for him, but he's not a character in the movie. He's a plot device for us recognizing that Erin came through her childhood, bullying, thanks to the power of having a friend, whereas this guy clearly never had a friend. And oh man, look at that. He went nuts. But to me, that just kind of fell apart a little bit because, all right, she gets through the bullying as a kid with her friend Abby and then immediately like shits on that friendship to go and become a professional, and seems to have like a pretty good life.
I just
I mean,
don't.
she doesn't. She clearly doesn't like her boss that much,
Yeah.
and she's clearly not getting laid because she's
Which
about
props
to,
to them getting Charles Dance for
like,
as little as
fuck
they
yeah,
did.
Charles Dance.
What the? When he walked in, I was like, damn, this
Tywin.
movie's got merit.
He's got Tywin.
I don't like the way he was written. He's so cliched. He's like, I'm the man that was bullied, but I'm very.
All right, we're going back to Rowan now.
Yeah, very like elegant in how I speak, and like very just like
yes.
cliched.
When the destruction will come, and he's like just talking to himself, and like the waitresses at his restaurant that he goes to are like, oh, not my turn to deal with him again, and it's like, all right, but we never get. All right, here's my big thing: we never found out how the fuck he figured out how to make all that shit.
The only clue they gave is like, look, he read our book.
But that's the thing. Like I was thinking about that earlier. He read Aaron and Abby's book, which is the whole start of the movie. Is Aaron is a professor at Columbia who has turned her life around and is now about to get tenure there. Until it comes out that she had written this book about ghosts with Abby when they were younger, until she decided to kind of go legit, quote unquote. And the whole thing is that Abby starts selling the book, trying to raise some money, and Aaron goes to her and asks her not to do it, and that's when they get into the whole first ghost thing. But we're led to believe that the book's only been on sale for a little while, because I think she would have noticed sooner. So I don't think that he read that book a while ago. It's not like he grew up with her book. It seems like he read it probably just like a little while
also,
before
the way they portray it, like the worst thing that happened to him is people call him weird, and now he wants to open a portal to Ghost World?
Well, I think in a lot of ways he was just supposed to be a stand-in for like the man babies who were whining about the movie in certain regards.
I don't know. That might be giving it too much credit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was just way too generic. And again, like we just don't ever learn how he's able to build these devices. He starts leaving devices around supposedly haunted areas in
They like
Manhattan.
magnify the paranormal activity in that area.
It magnifies these ley lines, and
whoa, look at you.
I know.
Oh
some stuff.
shit!
Anyway, essentially, like he's making these devices that we have no idea how they work. The scientists don't ever really explain them really well. They're just like, oh, it's a ghost machine type thing. it makes ghosts appear, and like we're just all right. So now that he's been defeated at the end, does that mean that there's never going to be any more ghosts? Because it doesn't seem like there ever ghosts.
Yeah, that was the thing.
him.
I was like, wow, they're going to be out of business, and at the end, they just bought that firehouse.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I guess we're done, unless somebody else reads your book and gets a bad idea.
Because
from
it seems like it wasn't happening. Like there were paranormal things, but like very small.
Yeah.
Because the whatever the like gateways to the ley lines were like stronger.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, like you said, they're going to be strong again. They're not going to be broken. So
yeah,
no more ghosts.
So I don't know. I didn't get. A lot of the times in the opening of the movie, I got the feeling that the ghosts were only showing up because of his devices. And then we do hear Erin's backstory that she was haunted as a kid, which was a cool backstory. I like that part a lot for her character. It turns out that her neighbor died, and then she says her neighbor, as a ghost, stood at her bed, the foot of her bed, for a year.
And just
like every
watched
night,
her sleep.
which was creepy and effective, and I like that detail about, like it colored her character as to why she takes it so personally when later on some people kind of discredit them and don't believe them. But yeah, like that was the problem with the character Rowan. He just wasn't a character. And then furthermore, he's out of the movie almost halfway through because he kills himself. Then it turns out
that's the part that bothered me. How did he know
that he was going to come back?
that he was going to come back A as a ghost and B as a super powerful ghost?
Yeah, how is he able to decide what form he's going to take? Because that just felt like a cheap throwaway reference to the original.
No, it says like it made sense. Like I guess I can go past like how do you know you become a ghost? Like they say like paranormal investigators say like you become a ghost if you got like business.
Yeah, but
still in the earthly plane.
He really rolled the dice on that
Yeah,
one.
he
man.
really took a gamble on that.
He kills himself when they find him. They shut his machine down, and then it immediately turns out that he comes back as a ghost, possesses Melissa McCarthy, then gets that scene from the trailer. Then he possesses Chris Hemsworth's character and uses Chris. So for like probably the good portion of the finale, Chris Hemsworth is our stand-in for the bad guy because he's being possessed and doing all the bad guy stuff, which made the character fun because at that point it's just Chris Hemsworth again.
Yeah.
And he's not differentiating really too much from the way the character.
You know what else kind of bothered me? Why is every like in talking about how the villain was cliched? Why is every villain like that also in like just happens to be like a great talented artist.
Oh yeah, they find his
Because
like,
he happened to
art book.
conveniently draw all of his plans
Yeah.
in the book
Yeah,
that
they
he was
find a book
reading.
and this is like, here's all my. And again, that's where it comes. It turns out that like him killing himself was just all part of the plan. You know.
Because I would love to be good at drawing. That was one of my dreams when I was a kid, but I suck at it.
Yeah.
And many teachers in high school told me that.
But apparently, you're not going to go evil anytime. So
But maybe that's the maybe I have to go evil to become
a good artist.
Become a good artist.
That's a catch-22, man.
If I murder you right now, can I draw a beautiful landscape with beautiful horses running in the sunset?
No, you'll draw evil things.
Oh,
So if you don't mind getting pigeonholed,
because I would do it.
Oh, all right. Thanks, man. Yeah, but so then he shows up at the end. It's like the kind of giant evil version of their logo. So that was whatever. Kind of also got a Stay Puft thing going on as a throwback, but
As a throwback, I liked a lot of the throwbacks. I loved the bust they had of Harold Ramis
Yeah, that was
at
a nice
her
touch.
institute she was working at in the beginning. Like that, but then most of the other ones were like, they made me like grind my teeth.
yeah. Ernie
You know what
Hudson at the end I thought worked.
Ernie Hudson worked.
I thought his was good.
I thought Dan Aykroyd's was too long, and I felt like he got more lines only because he like produced it.
Yeah, he got to say the throwaway. I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Yeah, I ain't afraid of no ghost.
They at least explained why he said it that way. Is like they made him like this very cliched New Yorker cabbie. So he's like, I ain't going uptown. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. But it did feel a bit too.
I'm sorry, I
Like
just don't.
self-servicing.
It felt like those scenes. I don't like those scenes like we used to complain about Spider-Man, where like New Yorkers are not afraid of anything. If you
Yeah,
saw
it's-
undead pilgrims floating through the sky,
Yeah,
you're
be a little bit concerned.
you're gonna call on a personal day.
Yeah, you're a bit concerned. Annie Potts's wasn't that bad. Hers was fine.
No, just quick little things is
Yeah,
fine. Like
hers was quick.
hated the Ozzy Osbourne one.
The Ozzy Osbourne one, obviously not related to the original cast, but his just did make sense because. All right, we're gonna come back to his in a second. Let's finish up the other came. Susan.
I like Susan Sarandon's.
Susan Sarandon's was okay.
No, sorry, not Susan Sarandon. It's Sigourney Weaver.
Oh yeah, fuck. Why are we saying Susan Sarandon? Yeah, Sigourney Weaver's in the end credits was okay.
Yeah.
To me, again, it was just a bit too. It was a bit forced because it's like, oh, she's Holtzman's mentor, so she's all acting like Kate McKinnon, all weird and shit. But it wasn't the worst. Bill Murray's was fine in the beginning. He shows up on the TV screen, perfect. Then he comes back as a character, and that scene didn't really work for me.
I didn't know why he came back. Like, why are you trying to disprove them? Well, like, why do you care? You've already
and then
done
he gets
it.
killed by like one of the ghosts because of Kristen Wiig. Kristen Wiig releases the first ghost they catch to prove that.
But I didn't mind that because it goes with her backstory. Like, she
It
needs
goes with
to
it.
be
Yeah, she
believed.
has to be believed because of her childhood bullying. Like, she can't go through that again. To find out that she is not insane and that ghosts are real, and suddenly have somebody immediately come out and be like, "No, you are crazy." She can't go through that again. So I believe the part that she let the ghost out. But then Bill Murray's character is immediately killed off, which I feel like was probably a request on his point to be like, "I'll do this one cameo, but then do not ask me."
Because I feel like Bill Murray, they asked him, he's like, "No."
I
No.
wouldn't be surprised if he was like one of the last holdouts.
He's
'cause
like,
he
and
never
they're like,
wanted to
for
do
a lot of money. And he's
he never wanted to do Ghostbusters 3. He was always the one that kept it from happening.
I believe
think-
some of that was because some of his feelings towards Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah. He never wanted to do the third one. They did get him to do that video game that I guess kind of plays out like the third Ghostbusters. So he did voice acting for that, but I get the feeling that like he kind of probably prodded them to kill him off because he was just like, "I'll come back once. I don't really want to do any more than that."
Why'd you go Boston?
I don't know. But then, to me, the thing that bugged me about that is they're being investigated for a murder, or like at least
the police
a suicide.
just let it go.
Yeah, his body gets thrown out the window, and then the mayor's task force shows up, and we transition to the next scene, and they never go back to
There's
it.
no way the cops just accepted it was a ghost, a ghoul, if you will.
Yeah, and like they just let it go. And
I
it's
would
like,
have loved to see a trial of that.
Yeah, it was just too weird. It just
Maybe
it didn't
it's
need
because
to be
the
in there.
mayor jumped in, but the mayor can't.
Stop a murder
They're
investigation.
like,
I
no,
don't
a
think.
man was violently
thrown out a window.
Through a window. I forget what that word is called when you're thrown through a window, but and they're just gonna like, nope,
Yeah, nope.
that's fine because
Mayor Andy Garcia
you
said-
are a scientist.
Yeah. I liked Andy Garcia in his cameo.
Oh, my favorite joke
Is
is Kristen Wiig is just like, you got to evacuate the city because they realize Rohan's going to open up the portals. He's like, please don't be the...
Rohan? The writers of Rohan?
Oh, shit. Rohan the Accuser. What was his name? Rowan?
Yeah, Rowan.
And he's like, he's going to open the portals. She's like, please don't be the mayor from Jaws. He's like, don't compare me to the mayor from Jaws. Never.
Yeah, he kind of like first laughing. He's like, don't. Never. It just like breaks. Yeah, that part was great. I love that. So yeah, that's all like the big original. Rick Moranis didn't have one, right?
Nope.
Yeah, he didn't.
I looked for him, but no.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
But he's been off the grid for a while.
Yeah, he hasn't really been acting for a while.
You know what?
Sorry. So let's come back to Ozzy.
Yeah.
Ozzy has a. This is again one of those.
That whole
weird
section was my
sections.
least favorite part of the movie.
You think so? I didn't mind the part where they're catching the dragon ghost of the rock show.
I didn't mind the part like
Or when they're fighting him when he's in the mannequin.
Yeah, or he's in the mannequin. But like the rock show itself felt like it was
really weird.
Filmed in a student's film. Like it wasn't up to the quality that the rest of the movie was.
First of all, they go there in the middle of the day. Who's having a hard
Yeah, it was
rock
like
show
3 p.m.
at like 4 p.m. That's especially because Ozzy was coming out next. He was coming out next at 4. They had the cover, like the opening band there,
And like
who was terrible.
the extras in those scenes were fucking horrendous.
Yeah, like the band extras.
Yeah, they're just like,
they were terrible.
yeah. And first of all, it's supposed to be a rock show. It's like, yeah. Like they even have some people that were overacting, like in the beginning where Rowan's going into it, and they're going into the show and they're like, yeah, jumping around and shit. But then the rock band starts and they're like, do you want some more? Do you want some more? I was like, who sings like that at a rock show?
Well, that's why they're the opener.
No,
not the headliner.
Oh my god!
The one dude gets thrown by the ghost
into amps,
into the wall of amps, and a couple minutes later he's fine.
And he gets up again. He's like, "Do you want some more?"
Yeah, he's still. You know what? At least dedication to the show. He got back up and he kept going. But yeah, that whole.
It'd be funny. You know, it'd be great if he got hit into the amps, but then he came back up to sing, but he's clearly a ghost.
Oh, that would have been great. I appreciated like the setting as like this is why people start believing them, because they catch a ghost in the middle of a big public event. But yeah, the whole sequence is weird, and then there's the Ozzy cameo that just doesn't work. I thought he was getting divorced from Sharon Osbourne.
I don't keep up with Ozzy Osbourne.
I don't
He ate
either.
a bat and he's not dead. That's all I know about him.
I thought that they were going through some rough patches right now, but he does the Sharon.
I didn't know this was affecting so closely.
It doesn't.
Would you like to talk after the podcast?
No, I don't really give a shit if they divorce him or not. But I thought that was a thing, so I found it was weird that he was doing the Sharon call to her. If it is, I don't know. Maybe
Probably
I'm
because that's
wrong.
like his catchfraise.
Yeah, but
like when they had the reality show.
But again, that's the thing. They're referencing the Osbournes reality show, which was I think that was like early 2000s.
Money though.
You know who referenced Ozzy Osbourne in the Osbourne show in a more timely fashion? Fucking Goldmember. Remember when they showed up in Goldmember?
Yeah. They were in that, yeah.
They had a cameo in that, and it was more timely than his shit.
I would rather take the lame-ass song they're singing at the rock show
Over the Fallout base?
over than the fucking horrible Fallout.
Well, hold on. We'll come back to that, because I got a point that I'm making with this Ozzy. The Ozzy reference felt so random and outdated.
Yeah.
And there was a couple more jokes throughout that felt really just like one of the big ones that I keep hearing people talk about is the "say hello to my little friend" gag.
Yeah.
Kristen Wiig kind of does the "say hello to my little friend" line from Scarface at the end. The joke being that she kind of gets caught up, like she gets like cut off halfway through because the gun is so powerful. But she's saying it and like gets knocked on her butt. But to me, like a lot of people have like pointed out, like that's a really like at this point when you say that in a movie, you're not referencing Scarface anymore. You're referencing the reference of Scarface.
You're right. There were sprinkles of just like old
like anachronisms where it's just like at this point, like a young audience going in may not even fucking know that reference anymore. Or if they do, they'll remember it from early 90s movies referencing.
Do you think maybe that's just a hidden joke of theirs and you're just like bringing ghosts back of like
a ghost of a joke?
Ghost of jokes?
No. I honestly, they've been Dan Aykroyd was trying to get Ghostbusters 3 off the ground for a while. I don't believe this script is the one that he wanted to use. But if you told me that some of these jokes were remnants of the original,
You believe it?
treaty, or no, what? Sorry, not treaty.
The treaty.
The original.
We need peace, Dan Aykroyd. We need peace.
The treaty with Dan Aykroyd. No, the original like treaties. The Dan Aykroyd treaty. They signed a treaty to get him to stop making movies.
You're killing us, Dan.
No, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
Like if you told me it was like remnants from the like original like script that he'd been kicking around, that would make sense to me because some of them just do not fit in like the current like timing. You know,
Yeah.
like that one, the Ozzy reference. They don't belong to a 2016 movie.
Yeah, shoot those jokes with Proton Pack. Throw
Yeah.
that in the trap.
Yeah.
Nah?
There you go.
Nah? There's an
That'll
idea
learn 'em.
for you.
But yeah, overall, still really enjoyed it. To me, I would have liked more like payoff for the villain, and specifically, you know, like some recognition on Kristen Wiig's character that, you know, like he was this dark mirror to her, because it felt like they were setting that up and then just didn't really pay off on it enough. We did get the feeling that like the payoff for her character just became the whole reconnecting with Melissa McCarthy to the
Yeah.
point that she's willing to jump into the hell portal at the end. Was that a portal to hell?
I don't know what the ghost world is.
I don't
Because
know.
it's clearly not just ghosts, because there's demons and fucking there's ghosts of demons and shit, and there's
Yeah, what
Zool
is-
and
the dragon thing is not a ghost. That's a demon. Like,
yeah, and not sure why it turned their hair white. They didn't really explain that. I don't
Yeah.
know what the point of that was.
You know what I honestly took that as is just like a bonding thing for them, like a literal physical bonding thing of just
I just thought
they-
maybe
she
it's-
jumped in the portal to save her, and it's like that's them, like literally, you know, bonded now. By
You know what that whole scene reminded me of?
Because they both.
In the Hercules Disney movie where he jumped in the same
Yes.
green thing to save Meg.
Yes, I agree. It kind of looked like it too. That was one of the few scenes where I thought like the visual effects really started to crap out
It's like, oh, it only
because the green screen of Kristen Wiig jumping into that weird hell portal.
so the only
was
side
really
effect
weird.
of a world where the dead reign is that you'll lose the color in your hair.
Yes. Apparently. I did like the gag though when they come out with the white hair and they make the joke about like, oh, it's 2040.
Yeah, it's 2040 now. Our president is a plant.
Yeah, and they're like, what? How long will you go on? It's like, no, just fun.
I still, and then one of the best jokes is where
The
Kevin
visual
has a
gag.
sandwich.
And they're like,
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Just you don't have to go over the top. Just
yeah,
like
the
simple,
sandwich gag.
random jokes. Because Kevin, the assistant's eating a sandwich, and after he gets taken over and they're possessed, and they're like, "You're fine, Kevin." He's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Where'd you get that sandwich?" He's like, "Oh, I investigated that deli over there." And like
I
after
was
a while,
looking for you in the deli.
yeah, Melissa McCarthy character grabs the sandwich and throws it.
Yeah,
and
she's
he's like
we
a
were
little help.
risking our life for you, and you were off getting a sandwich.
He's like, a little help here. And then someone off camera throws him a different sandwich.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
Perfect. And it was just like a simple, like, whoop, visual gag. Worked for me, and they didn't draw it out.
I wish it was that. Like, you see, like.
If it was more that, and if they trimmed down some of the jokes a little bit more, just a little bit more, like, tough editing.
And got rid of the Fall Out Boy song entirely.
Yeah, the Fall Out Boy song is terrible.
That's, what was it? Fall Out Boy and Missy Elliott, I
I
think?
think it is. And
That
it
is
awful.
Whoo!
Which is hysterical because it's barely in the movie. The first time you hear the theme, it's the original theme.
Gonna need to call the Ghostbusters for all the ghosts of everyone's ears in that theater because they've been killed.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was bad.
It does show up one point in the movie when they're first doing, I think, their big Ghostbusting montage.
Yeah, they do like the regular one, or they could have just hit a remix.
Yeah. Well, like the remix from the trailers, is that the Fall Out Boy one?
I don't know because I don't remember hearing any words.
Yeah, but like the one in the trailer, it's just the original theme with like a new beat laid over it, and that would have worked fine for me.
Because at first it's Fall Out Boy, and you're like, fuck. Because Fall Out Boy, all they do is like, they just sit down and have a meeting where they just make up a number. Like, oh, we're gonna do this. We're gonna sing the chorus glump times. They'll just make up a random number and just sing that chorus that many times.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they do, and I hate it. And it was just so bad. And then Missy Elliott just starts rapping over it, and I was like, I'm done. I
Yeah.
almost was like, I can't.
Yeah, and then when it comes in the end credits, it's bad. Although as bad as it is, the song in the end credits, you have to stay through the end credits. A, because there's one or two little Easter egg scenes. That's where you get the Sigourney Weaver one. Because I had been sitting in the theater, I'm like, wow, okay, Rick Moranis didn't show up, which I think we knew he wasn't going to. But I was like, I thought Sigourney Weaver was going to show up. And then she comes in the first tease. Then there's a final sting where honestly, they're like, Leslie Jones's character is listening to the Ghost voice tape again.
Are you talking about the end credits?
Yeah, like the final stinger. And I thought they were going to do the fart joke again, which I would have actually appreciated. But then she just goes, "Who's Zool?" And like that to me was just a little bit too much of a fan servicey thing. But then it's actually the actual credits themselves are terrific because it's just random, like just little bits.
And then expanding on that joke they did with Kevin in the earlier,
Yeah.
with like which photo makes more look more
Kevin's
like a doctor?
headshots, which are just him shirtless.
Just doing different things, listening to the saxophone, playing the saxophone.
But yeah, there was like some of those, and then there was a scene when Rowan takes over Chris Hemsworth and he stops the army guys in their tracks, and I honestly thought in the movie that they were about to do like a big forced dance sequence where he makes them dance, like in the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey, and I was gonna hate that if they did it in the movie because it would have been that scene just ripped off completely. They do it in the trailer. I'm sorry, they do it in the end credits, and that worked for me because it didn't slow down the actual movie.
Yeah.
It was just like, hey, if you're going to stay for the credits, here's Chris Hemsworth clearly having a fucking ball.
There are some, you see them, they have such intricacies in the details that you wish they sprinkled it throughout the whole movie, but they didn't. Like stuff like that with like the credits and like going back to other jokes, that's smart. And like they really paid attention. But like they just seemed like they like rushed parts of it.
Yeah. Again, I wouldn't be surprised that like if the third act was I feel like there's definitely a couple big scenes cut from the third act, and I feel like there's a lot of that's where the studio stepped in, was like, we need the big action scene. Just like we were saying, that's where the kind of logic of the situation starts to get thrown out the window. Because they're shooting their proton packs at the ghosts, but they're not catching them. They're just hitting them and like tossing them aside. Like,
Yeah.
it like visually it was a fun scene. Don't get me wrong. It was still like a fun action scene, but just based on the rules of the movie, it didn't seem to make much sense. Like the first time they use a proton pack on a ghost, it's that, it's the prisoner that they see in the subway, and the proton pack does nothing to stop him because like it just barely contains him. So that's when they come up with the idea of the containment trap.
I did
And it's
kind of
like,
like
all right,
the,
so why at the end are they suddenly able to like cut pilgrims in half?
Yeah, I did kind of like because you talking about the prisoner ghost remind me of that. How they kind of explained the origins of the ghosts that they were catching through Patty.
Yeah.
I thought that
like
was really
Patty
good. Like how Patty said, like, oh, they used to do like executions.
Yeah, like
right
this
above
was-
here.
Yeah, and I like that it gave her something to do.
Yeah,
other
they
than
didn't
being-
make her just one that joined the group. And they kind of did a better job of it than
even
Ernie
the original,
Hudson's
yeah.
character.
Because remember, in the original, it was supposed to be Eddie Murphy,
Yeah.
and then when they couldn't get him and it was Ernie Hudson, they like really cut the roll down. So Ernie Hudson in the original really he just shows up.
He's just there. And even in the second one with Rick Moranis just getting a proton pack.
Yeah. So like at least Patty feels like she's bringing something. I did hear this. I forget where. There was one review. I think it might have been actually IGN's review, but it was actually something that I did agree with, which was one thing that it felt like they were leading up to was her historical knowledge. There's the sequence when the big ghost finale, Times Square reverts back to like 1950s Times Square or something like that, or like
Oh,
19
yeah.
And I thought that was gonna. I think me and some other reviewers, I think it was IGN's review. I can't remember now, but I know I'm not the first one to have the thought. Is what I'm saying. But I thought that they were gonna do more with her, kind of bringing her historical knowledge to that. But then it was just kind of like they just did that for a setting to make the setting look kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's just like that. That didn't do anything for the ghost to like make it like 1920s Times Square or whatever. It was just like, oh, look at that Times Square chain. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, but yeah, otherwise, I enjoyed it all.
But like, I just don't see how it's deserving of all the hate that it's getting.
It doesn't. I think it's a lot stronger than. Again, I think right now I mentioned before Rotten Tomatoes again is like a 75% last time I checked for critics, but the audience score is like only 53% liked it, so it's technically got the rotten garbage rating for audience. To me, that's just ridiculous. It's not that low for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, not also worthy. I think people are giving it really, really high scores.
I think they suffer from what I was talking about before, where they're just like they want to defend it.
Yeah, they're trying to overcompensate for the haters.
There is a middle ground, people.
And that it's a fun movie.
It's a fine movie.
Yeah, I would absolutely watch it again.
I'm trying to make up new catchphrases. Can I do my new catchphrase?
Okay.
I like the taste of this movie. I give it 3 slurps out of 5.
Sure.
I'm going to do the sound effect.
Please don't. No. 3 slurps.
Do you need to make your own catchphrase?
I don't want to now.
The look he just gave me was just like, when you die, I will not go to your funeral, or I'll have been the cause of it. I'm going to kill you and then deliver your own eulogy.
I killed the man. And I don't.
And then you're like, I killed the man, wait for it. And then they're like, woo!
He saved us from the slurps.
He saved us all.
So yeah, that's Ghostbusters. Fun movie. Worth checking out. Not a complete dumpster fire.
Yep, not. We were originally gonna, like we said, we saw this with Jim and Alex. I know Alex wanted to be a part of this episode. We were gonna do it yesterday, but we ended up doing a fun little project that will be in a new episode.
This is gonna be down the line.
It's gonna be great. Do we tell them what it is now, or do we keep it a surprise and just post it?
We can. I'll just say we're doing a project that Mike the intern helped us come up with, which is just to create a project where essentially we are sitting down with Mike the intern, our friend Jim, and Alex. We'll probably get some other friends in there too. We are essentially creating a script for a fake movie where the idea was we're just throwing bullshit at the wall.
What we did was we just took like one of those bullshit story generators.
Yeah.
Just took the basis of it and just ran with it. And we have to use whatever it says.
Yeah. So we're kind of playing around with that. There's a couple different ways we might try it. Originally, we were thinking we might do it one way, but then we're like, it would just be a complete disaster.
Yeah, we might try it both ways. Try it one way first and then see which one sticks.
I think we could try that.
We've been coming up with a couple ideas. I talked to you about that other one we might do too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll do a couple. We got a couple.
And we're going to be doing giveaways. Andrew's going to be giving away stuff from his room.
No.
Do you want a PlayStation 4?
Absolutely not.
How about a tiki? Is that tiki mask?
That's where my
How about a model of a rocket ship?
I actually do have to get rid of that. It is broken, though.
So we're going to do a contest. The lucky 10 people will learn Andrew's address, home address. Just come in his room and just take some stuff.
I may or may not be here for it.
He may or not be, or he may be napping, which is just the same as him not being here.
You could come in and take the clothes off my body, and I probably wouldn't notice.
So that's it for this episode. Thank you for listening to Speak and Destroy, the only podcast part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh shit, Thor!
I'd like to thank our sponsor, because we need that sweet, sweet cash, Andrew. The sponsor this week is Metamucil. Metamucil, for when you need to get something out of your body other than bullshit.
Do we want to really quickly, I know this episode's already going on for a while, or do we want to save it for the next episode to talk about like some of the stuff coming out of Comic-Con? Or do we want to
I say we do, you're talking about the trailers and stuff?
Yeah.
I would say we do what we did last year and just do a little mini episode like we did on Pokemon Go on the trailers.
We can do that right quick then. The only reason, because the next thing that I think we are going to see, generally we try not to do these promises because we end up saying that we're going to see a movie.
And we're also, we went to the doctors and we got, the doctor described it as being idiots. We have that.
Yeah.
Idiocy.
So like generally try not to make promises, but we are going to go see Suicide Squad this weekend and try and crank that episode out too.
It's not a problem of seeing it because we usually see the movies.
It's just a problem of like actually
of doing it, but we've been good.
We've been very good.
Yeah.
We the only snag we hit recently was our editing kind of slowed down,
and that we fell in love. With each other.
Oh.
I like it when I fell in love's not a big deal. Oh.
But we did run into a bit of snag. But John came through for us. He just got really busy at work, and then he just
he has
like
a
all-nighter.
grown-up job.
Yeah, he's good. He's yeah. But yeah, he just pounded the episodes out the other night. So we just put up 3 today. I think we got another one coming out tomorrow.
And we're gonna start doing. We should do more mini episodes. I like the Pokemon Go one.
Yeah,
it was just stupid. Us bullshitting.
Yep.
So I would do more like.
Yeah, so we'll actually do the Comic-Con one right now.
Oh man, you guys are in for a treat. That means I have to stay.
All right. We'll see you on that mini episode. Speak and Destroy. I'm Andrew Garvento.
Stephen Reed, follow us at Speak and... What's the Twitter?
Speak_destroy.
Because I don't know if you did any other bullshit where it's just like
destroy.
a letter's missing. It's just called Eek and Destroy.
No, it's Speak_destroy on Twitter. You can follow us at SoundCloud. Listen to us on iTunes.
We have a Facebook too. We never mentioned the Facebook.
I always forget to even update the Facebook.
It's Speak and Destroy Facebook.
Yep. So it's interesting.
I've been doing better on the Twitter. I've been doing posts.
I've seen some of your posts. You've been trying to get that. How did this get made? Mention.
Yeah.
Trying to.
I don't want the mention. Like, I just want to be like, hey, why don't you guys come on down and see a show for free?
Man, that'd be great.
I'm all about free shit, Andrew.
I see that.
For me.
Oh.
For me.
I can't get some of the free shit?
Yeah, of course. So how did this get made if you want to, collaborate on something?
Or just give free shit?
I just want to see Paul Scheer's head in person.